This episode of Hak5 is brought to you by Intel's Core i7 processor, find yours now at mwave.com, Netflix, Squarespace, and the musical stylings of Paul Tobias.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Hak5. This is your weekly dose of Technolust. We have your gamers, your hackers, and your IT ninjas. I'm Shannon.
I'm Darren.
I'm Matt.
I'm Chris.
And now that we have the Musketeers sign off in place, welcome guys. We have an awesome show for you guys. We are doing a lot of fun stuff. I've got an interview a little bit later in the show with Ashley Schwartau talking about Hackers Are People Too, an awesome documentary that I'm sure you guys will be interested in. Chris Gerling's in the house. We are talking to him about public key encryption. I know Matt's got some interesting stuff going on with drivers. And Shannon, you're going to be organizing MP3s at the wazoo?
MP3s, M4s.
All that fun stuff.
Whatever.
There you go.
Music files.
What's going on with you guys this week?
Well, Chris, you're down here.
I am.
Not feeling too well, so
Not that well.
we'll try and get you out of here as
Had
soon
some
as
soup.
possible. Some soup. I'm stupid busy. My buddy called me from Cleveland last night and was like, dude, man, you got to come up to Cleveland, and I'm hammered. You know, I remember you.
I don't think you're going to get there by the time it's...
Did your boyfriend drunk dial you?
I think he did.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
So
that is
Jeff,
so cute.
so Jeff Wojciechowski, if you're out there, everybody now knows that you're a drunken moron. Touche. So what about you,
Good job.
Chris?
Oh, just a lot of work. Swamped the last couple days.
Yeah.
Just waiting. I'm glad it's the weekend, finally. Although I have my little red phone over there.
On
so,
call?
Yeah, kind of, you know. Could
Bring Batman. What's up?
the Batman phone. So, you know, might need to go back to the
Bat
Batcave.
phone.
But other than that, you know, just living it up in Richmond. So it's a good time.
Living it up while being sick.
While being sick.
awesome.
Well, no, I'm gonna wake up sick tomorrow. I'm like, you know, I'm at the point where I kind of know what's happening, and then I know that when I go to sleep, it's all over.
Oh,
I
yeah.
kind of transform at
It's
night, you
over,
know, like
Johnny. I'm good.
So.
What about you, Darren?
Dude, we have been getting a lot of great feedback from the last episode.
Oh yeah, tons.
So I guess I'll first of all talk about this bad boy. If you've been watching hackhouse.com, watching the live stream of us doing our thing 24/7, like you guys say Big Brother, I still haven't seen the show, so I don't know what you mean, but we're going to be voting Shannon off soon, so don't worry.
What the crap?
If you've seen the other foam missile, let us know. I have. Anyway, totally hooked it up, and you guys have been having a blast with it. I wanted to let you know what's going on with the code for that. Talk to Jason Applebaum. You may know him on the Ustream as Apple Crisp, and he's the awesome coder behind the Java front and back end system that makes this guy work. Wanted to add a whole bunch of awesome features. Wanted to put the source code out there and have you guys kind of contribute to this. We're going to put that off by a week because it turns out something about finals, I don't know. It's been so long since I've been in school, but you know,
What are
after
finals?
Thanksgiving and then you got finals right before you go on Christmas break. What's that? Good luck to all you guys with your finals. So we're putting that on hold so we can basically comment up and clean up the code, because while we could put the source out there right now, you would probably pull your hair out going, what the hell is $? Or whatever it is in Java.
Yeah.
It's probably about that long in Java for $, but whatever. Anyway.
Whatever.
Yeah. And it turns out everybody likes UNet booting. Dude, have you seen the emails about UNet booting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've gotten a lot of feedback about unit booting.
Yeah. Well, one guy in particular was just like, did you see the thank you, happy birthday email?
That was so sweet.
I think that
Yes.
was today.
I might have been in an Vicodin-induced coma. I don't remember.
Matt, you're totally off this stuff. Get over it. Anyway.
Look at him. He's like,
What are you talking about, huh?
All right. We don't encourage any bad behavior here.
No.
Just hacking. So basically, UNet booting, like we said in the last episode, ways to burn ISOs to your USB drive, multiple ISOs, and he actually put together a collection that he had of all of these boot disks that he used to repair computers and stuff, all into one USB drive, and that's awesome. I wanted to point you to Room 362, our friend Mubix, you know him. he's got an awesome article over here about a multi-boot security live CD that I think you might all be interested in. It's got everything that you could possibly need, including Backtrack 3, damn small Linux. It's got Knoppix. It's got Offcrack. It's got all the security tools that you would need all burnt to one USB key. I mean, it's the holiday season, so you can get a 32 gig, USB drive for like $40 or something.
Maybe not that cheap, but
okay,
under $100.
Yeah, 32 gigs.
So I mean, treat yourself to some open source software.
Puppy Linux.
Puppy Linux, yeah.
Well, there's a puppy in the house today.
There is. We'll have a crosscut to that.
He's so cute.
So what's going on with you?
I've been working my ass off.
Yeah, it's been a tough.
For reals.
It's been a tough week for all of us. We're all busy.
It really
doing
has.
our
Coming out of
regular
Thanksgiving
jobs.
is absolutely retarded because you've got all that work that you need to do, and then you've got to prep. Well, because you were
Christmas.
because you were on vacation, you've got all that work built up, and now you're like, oh crap!
Now I only got 2 weeks to get it done before.
I've got 2.5 weeks before I take off again. So you're like, yeah, it's.
You have to get all this crap done before you go on vacation for Christmas.
Plus, we've got to get ready for the big announcement. Drum roll, please.
You want to do that?
Oh, hell yes, I do. We are going to CES, ladies and gentlemen. January 8th through the 11th, Hak5 in partnership with Revision 3, Techzilla, and every other show that is going to be there. We'll be at CES covering the event live 2 days. We'll be releasing daily episodes on Thursday, Friday, on Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
If we're wrong, it's in the lower third.
Yeah, whatever it is. And
3 days.
so if
basically.
you guys are out at CES, I do know that it takes apparently forever to get anywhere, even between the two buildings. It's at the Sands in like the Las Vegas Convention Center, which is like
there.
5 freaking football fields
Sands?
long.
We're gonna learn security?
No, the Sand is
Yeah.
holy crap, I got some in my crotch, kind of
Dude,
thing.
that sucks
Gotta
when you
take
go
a
to the
shower
beach.
right away.
Because you cut out the stupid stuff that they got in the trunks, because those are lame, and then you go to the. Never mind. I'm way off topic.
So
Keep going.
anyway,
Wow.
CES, January 8th through the 11th. If you guys are going to be there, shoot us an email so that we can get some sort of meetup going on
Hell yeah.
when we're actually out there, and maybe get some of you guys on, what are your favorite products that
Yes,
you saw at CES?
definitely. I already got Evan Oberman is working hard, finding us all the cool stuff that he wants us to cover. We want to hear what you guys are interested in, because we are going to bring the hacker perspective to CES. We're not going to get kicked out like Dude Skis with the TVB guns, but there might be pineapples in our future. So anyway, hit us up, let us know what you guys want to see, and I think that's good for the A.
Yep.
So I'm going to go ahead and let you guys know that when we get back, we are going to be talking with Chris about public key encryptions, ways that you can securely transfer files from PCs. You don't need to worry about just one factor of authentication. It's really good stuff. But first, let's find out about this week's LAN party.
All right, thanks, D. Guys, this week's LAN party is Half-Life 2 Deathmatch.
I love Half-Life 2. It's one of my favorite Steam games to play. I pretty much rock everyone at it, or at least I like to think so.
Toilets in the face hurt.
They do.
You remember East Coast LAN that we went to? We did a live event from East Coast LAN.
Do those things.
So what we're going to do is we're going to try and bring that feel back. We're going to be playing Half-Life 2 Deathmatch on December 13th. You can go to game.hak5.org. The server is pretty much up all the time.
Oh yeah.
So you can log on and get your game on, practice a little bit if you don't have your own servers.
You're gonna need it.
So toilets and radiators in the face, like I said.
That's all I got.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So December 13th, game.hak5.org, and we would like to thank the fine people at M-Wave for sponsoring this week's LAN party. Look for the new Intel Core i7 processor or Processor Extreme inside your next media tower or gaming rig, the smarter way to take on highly threaded games and applications. The Core i7 processor, which recently just came out, there's 3 models available now, the 920, the 940, and I believe the 960 Extreme.
Wow.
Absolutely destroying in all the benchmarks that you guys can possibly think of.
I just built a new PC.
I know you did.
Have to...
I knew it was coming out, so I was like, I'm holding off. But the Core i7 processor features intelligent multi-core technology that kicks into overdrive as your activity becomes more intense. What does this mean for you? It means virtual worlds and environments are rendered seamlessly with physics and AI distribution across 8 software threads. It means less lag for you so you can focus on your gameplay, and the only thing you'll be sacrificing are your enemies, not your system's performance. You guys can go to mwave.com to get your Intel Core i7 processor, and when you check out, use the coupon code HAK5 for $10 off an Intel Core i7 processor. I want to thank Intel and mwave for sponsoring this week's LAN party, and right now we're going to kick it over to a break and come back with public key encryption and driver backup.
So have you ever wanted to log into your machine securely? And I'm not just talking like I got a password, but I'm talking securely. Chris, you can tell us about public key authentication?
Yes.
What's that? Two-factor happiness?
Yeah, it's just it's another layer of security. It's two-factor authentication. Well, actually, the token itself is just another one-factor, but then you combine that with a passphrase, and you get two-factor.
Okay, so what does it differ? Okay, so there's a passphrase.
Mm-hmm.
We all know passphrases.
Okay.
What you use to log in. That's something you know. It's a passphrase. Mm-hmm. What's the other factor?
The other thing is something you have, which is, in this case, a key file. Mm-hmm. So with public key authentication, we're using an asymmetric, like say, in this example, OpenSSH and PuTTY. So you can generate a public and private key, mm-hmm. and you use the public key to encrypt your, to encrypt, and along with the passphrase, and then you use the private key to decrypt that, so you can read it and whatever you need to do, and as well as authenticate with a server. So not only can you decrypt files, but you can use it for authentication.
So we're going to show an example of using this with SSH, which is a great way to log into stuff. But what are the advantages of using like a public and a private key, as you've mentioned?
Okay, well, the advantage of the way that we're doing it with the public key authentication is that you use asymmetric encryption, which means you have a private key that stays, at Fort Knox, mm-hmm. and that's like the guy behind the door that's, that's going to ask you for, your password and your token. And then your public key is what you just give to whoever you think needs it, and they're going to have that public key.
So I can post this public key on my website.
Absolutely, give it to anybody.
Give it to everyone.
Give it to everyone. That's how it works.
Great.
And anyone can encrypt a message, or in various implementations, encrypt it with the passphrase, and then the guy behind the door takes that, has his little private key, decrypts it, and can work with it.
So you've got the public key.
Mm-hmm.
You can encrypt things with it, mm-hmm. but you can't decrypt anything.
You
need the private key. Okay, very good. So now we can. So if I've got if you gave me your public key and I knew the passphrase, mm-hmm. I could go to you and I could say, here's my public key, and here's the passphrase encoded with my public key.
Exactly.
You could say, put that next to the private key, adjust the encoding rings, mm-hmm. and if they matched up, and then you could reuse the passphrase, and then that was the same. Mm-hmm. Then you would give me a username and password prompt at the bash shell or whatever it may be that I'm logging into.
You can actually. You don't even need a username and password. Well, you need a username.
Okay.
But you don't necessarily need a password. You're using that two-factor as your
mm-hmm.
password. So, kind of roll into things here. I set up a Linux VM and a Windows VM. And what I did is, on the Linux side, we have OpenSSH installed.
Sure.
So with OpenSSH, I'm just gonna hit enter here and
let's see what we do on the server side.
This is how we generate the key pair. So in this case, I'm just gonna call it some stuff because I already have some keys I'm gonna use. Mm-hmm. And then with the passphrase, well, we're just gonna use hacker because
Okay. So hackers are our password here.
And then it actually gives you a key fingerprint, and this is what you get if you use PuTTY and you log in.
Right. If you're familiar with PuTTY, you log into an SSH session, and pops up the little message saying, mm-hmm. "Is this your fingerprint?"
Yep.
So
there it is.
You would make sure that this is. Mm-hmm. So you would need to know that as well if you were.
You would need to know this.
Okay.
So just to make sure that you're actually connecting it.
But then you can. But once that's good, and you know that you save it, you tell PuTTY, yes, mm-hmm. remember that, and our client remembers. Cool. So is that all we need to do on the server, or is there anything more?
So what I did, and I'm not going to, because it's kind of boring to watch me actually SCP a file, mm-hmm. I transferred the key file that I made over to my...
well, let's see the connection. What do you do?
Okay.
So
I actually did it from this side right here. So
okay.
what I did is I have a folder here with mm-hmm. a bunch of PuTTY files, and here's actually my keys.
PuTTY being our favorite SSH client on Windows.
Yes, exactly. And so I actually just did it with a command prompt. I PSCP. And I actually, the first time to actually set it up, I used the username and password.
Okay.
And I PSCP'd I grabbed the file that I generated on the OpenSSH side and dragged it over to the Windows side. The reason being is that with OpenSSH, you can't import a PuTTY-generated key into OpenSSH. You can import an OpenSSH key into PuTTY, but you can't go the other way.
So it's not a standard
the
way that they format the keys?
There's probably a way to do it, but I was on their site.
And we will probably get an email about it.
And we probably will get an email about it.
Yeah.
But I went on their site, I went on there, and I didn't see it. So anyway,
well, when you get the email, update your blog with that info.
Exactly. So I already transferred it over, and what we do is we go into PuTTY keygen, and we import the key.
Okay.
So in this case, I just do the, it doesn't really matter which one you do.
So this is the public key that we just got
So
in our
here's
client.
the
We
password.
open up PuTTY key generator.
Yep.
We enter in the passphrase, and now we have the public key.
And now I can save it, and I already did.
Oh,
the
there we
.ppk
go.
file here, and I'll click exit out of this. This file is what I saved.
Let's see
so
that.
this is,
Open that up.
Well, if you want to actually see what it looks like.
Notepad++, that guy.
It's
There's your public
yeah.
key. Great.
Yep.
Okay.
So I saved it into a PuTTY format, and the cool thing is with PuTTY, if you open putty.exe here, the PuTTY configuration, I can type in.
Yeah, this is what we do on the client side. So we're going to go ahead and log
there's
into
my
it.
IP.
Right.
And in SSH here,
Right.
now that I have the key file, I can go on here to auth, browse, select my key, and now when I go back here to the session, just make sure that's correct, click open. I'm going to log in as root.
Log in as root even.
Log in as root, and it's going to ask me for my passphrase.
Okay.
Type in hacker, and I'm in.
Beautiful.
Yep.
So and everything in between this is secure, so we don't need to worry about
your
this key
passphrase
exchange.
does not get sent in the clear.
Because
it's encrypted with
even if somebody was man in the middle, they don't
they
have
would
the
need to have
private
both.
key. Yeah.
They would need to have, not only would they need to have the private key, they would need the public key and the passphrase. So you have, you have to really screw the
So
pooch.
this is security.
it's layered. It's
There you go.
defensive
I
depth.
like it.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
You
And
can also
we can set this up on our home servers.
Exactly.
We can open up port 22 for SSH.
or you can even change it. You can just in your IP tables, you can change it to whatever.
And you've
port
got a
you want.
list of SSH servers like OpenSSH, DropBear, some Windows stuff.
Yeah, you don't have to use it with PuTTY and OpenSSH. You can use, there's a million of them out there you can do between. You just
Great
have to,
way to connect back to your home. And you know what? I think that we need to follow up with this later
for
on ways to
SSH.
tunnel.
Yes.
Because we've been talking
It's
a
a
lot
more
about
secure
public
way.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
There we go.
It's a more
so we got
secure way
the
to tunnel.
first bit of that. I think we got a good grasp of public key authentication. And now I think I'm going to hand it over to Shannon and Matt, because we're going to learn about driver backups, just
Backing
as
up your
important
drivers.
as security.
Exactly.
There we go. Take it away, guys.
Guys, what we're going to be talking about today is a comparison of different ways to back up your different drivers. Now, you might be asking yourself, well, why do I need to back up drivers when there's always new ones being released? These are really good for older machines, where it's very difficult to find driver download locations on the corresponding, motherboard vendor, video card. So if you've got a machine that's actually working, maybe not so well, because grandma downloaded the, e-card that, she wasn't supposed to, and now it's completely borked, something like that. What we can actually do is we can actually extract all of those drivers out of the system and then put them back in once we've actually blown away everything and go ahead and do that. Now, there's 4 utilities I'm going to show you. I'm sure there's more out there.
Oh, yeah.
The first one that we're actually going to take a look at is a little bit low level. So it kind of gets down deep into the, what actual drivers are installed. So you said you didn't want to download your drivers.
No, I
and
don't.
have to go find them.
No, it takes forever. I hate that.
Right.
But I already, I'm going to have all my Microsoft, all my Windows drivers already. So.
Exactly.
But it's like the Realtek and the Logitech and all that good stuff that I'm worrying about.
The tools that we're actually talking about today all pre-select non-Microsoft drivers.
Oh, good.
So
okay.
we're not backing up, gigs of different drivers that we don't need to install, because obviously they're going to be installed when you install a machine.
Yeah, exactly.
But things like, even if you don't back up any other drivers, there's really good, you really need to back up like Ethernet drivers, which rarely ever change. So what we're going to show you is driver view here. And we can actually go through and see that it is pre-selected every non-Microsoft driver. So Here we've got the NVIDIA 6600 or 6800 GT driver, the Realtek driver, some security drivers, so on and so forth. And we can actually save the selected items to a text file. Now, this utility will allow you to get an abstract of what drivers are installed, but it won't allow you to save them. So this is just a driver viewer. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to check out double driver.
Okay.
This tool looks very similar, but will actually allow you to back up drivers to a destination.
Okay, that's what I need.
Right.
Something like that.
This is a little bit a little bit advanced for basically 90% of what you need to do. So personally, I would not recommend this tool to you. Not saying that you're a noob or anything, but I'm just saying. So very similar interface, and this one will actually allow you to back up your drivers. The next tool we're going to go into is a tool that Chris told me about. It's called Driver Max.
Pretty.
It's pretty. It's got nice little Vista
nice
icons.
Interface. I like it.
This tool is probably it's number 2 on the list for a reason.
Okay.
Even though it's a very nice tool, they make you register to, even though it's free, to register to actually use it consistently.
That's lame.
So anybody that is offering a free tool that makes me register so they can give me more spam.
Yeah, I really don't like registering for stuff.
Thank you, but no thank you. But this allows you, just like every other tool that we're talking about, to select which drivers and any non-Microsoft drivers that we want.
Yeah, this one looks like it's not pre-selected for you.
Right. So we actually have to go through and select them all, and we actually can go down here and select, which, if we want to, sort by a certain subgroup, which we're actually going to do.
Okay.
The last tool that I'm going to show you is the one that I'm going to recommend to you. This one's called Driver Backup 2.0. And thank you. I can't remember his name, but he actually recommended it to me. This one actually shows all the drivers, but we can actually go ahead and click on the third-party drivers.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So here's our video, our audio, our monitor, so on and so forth. And what we're going to do is we are going to back up real quick. And I'm going to show you how simple it is to start a backup. So
how long is this going to take?
Watch.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is put the pen down, and we're going to browse to a path. And this is going to be the C drive.
Okay.
And we're going to insert a description.
My computer.
Snow's computer. And we're going to allow and generate files for automatic driver restoration, which is very important because we want to use the same utility to restore our drivers once we've got your new computer built.
That's really nice. So you don't have to go searching all over the place to pick up your drivers again.
Exactly.
You might have backed them up, but you don't know where they ended up.
Exactly. So what we're going to do is, now that we've got the root and seed path, we're going to click Start Backup. And oh, wow, it's done.
Holy crap.
So we can actually go in and we can
Dude, that was nice.
Here's the backup file, and here are our drivers. NVIDIA GeForce 6800 GT,
wow, that's
Marvel
great.
Yukon. Now, restoring the drivers is just as easy. Instead of clicking backup, we're going to click restore. And we're going to actually open the backup file and this BKI file, and would you look at that?
Wait, they're all already checked for you.
Yep.
All of them are there. They're sorted into their specific components.
Yep.
God, that's awesome.
So,
that is perfect for what I need.
So we just backed up all of your drivers in less than 30 seconds, and now restoring them is only going to take you 30 seconds.
That is
so instead of logging on, all that other stuff. So if you guys want to check it out, you can find more at my blog, mattlestock.com. And we want to thank Netflix for not sponsoring this, but the trivia that we're actually going to do right now. So thanks to Netflix for sponsoring this week's trivia. With Netflix, you can rent over 90,000 titles online, including lots of Blu-ray, with free shipping both to and from your home. They now have over 40 shipping centers, so almost all deliveries happen in just one business day, and the Netflix plans start from $4.99. As a new member, you can get a no-risk, 2-week free trial membership. Check out www.netflix.com. And don't forget the www.
Please don't forget the www.
Very, very, very important.
Dude, Netflix is on the 360, the Xbox.
Yeah, Shannon has been consuming my time with Fallout 3.
I'm sorry.
Because she's been watching Heroes lately.
But I finished it.
No, there's
except for
another
that one new episode.
So?
I'm so excited.
It was pretty good too.
Really?
I watched it
God,
at
you
work.
watched it without me. A-hole.
You watched the entire 3rd season pretty much without me,
I'm sorry.
bitch. So yeah, Heroes debate gets a little hot and heated in this.
Didn't they do something on the BlackBerry?
Yeah, there's an application for the BlackBerry that you guys can. Darren actually told me about it. It's called SmartFlix. It's by Pixis Software. And basically what you can do is you can sit, if you guys don't like having your laptop sitting at the, on your couch, you can, bust out your BlackBerry or your iPhone. I know there's a compatible iPhone one as well. Add stuff to your queue, delete stuff from your queue, recommendations.
That's awesome.
What we want you guys to do is we want you to add us as a friend on Netflix so that we can get recommendations from you and you can get recommendations from us. And I told Darren that he's not allowed to watch any documentaries anymore.
Oh, thank God.
I know, right?
I'm so sick of that crap.
Exactly. So yeah, Netflix on the 360. You can watch stuff in HD. It's the first platform that you can actually watch Netflix instant queues on demand in HD.
And it looks damn good.
Oh, it looks phenomenal.
Might I say.
Phenomenal. So this week's last week's trivia winner, as soon as I could find my paperwork here.
I think it was Miss Sartwell.
Miss Sartwell, is that how you say his name?
Yes.
I tell you, it's funny because on days when the show comes out, people skip right to the part of the trivia.
Dude, they seriously
So they can.
do.
So literally, like 4 minutes after the show releases, there's already an answer. So I think we need to start like hiding it in the show.
Maybe.
Like just kind of
Split
tuck
up,
it away
maybe
somewhere. and be
Throw
like,
it in the middle of a segment.
"Hooah!"
Yeah.
So you can't just like skip to 3/4 and find it. But last week's trivia question was, in the first technology preview of Doom, which I played, dubbed Doom Evil Unleashed, what did the secret messages say about Jules and Tom? That was correctly answered by Miss Sartwell. And the answer was Tom is king and Jules sucks.
I think they even put a thumbnail on the forums.
Yeah, Darren actually showed me it after the episode. Miss Sartwell will be getting a copy of Hackers Are People Too by Ashley Schwartau. We actually are going to be going to not a documentary, she's the one that made the documentary. We're going to be going to an interview that Darren did with her, and very actually pretty lady, I must say.
She is, she's so nice.
Is she really?
Yeah. We saw her up at Freaknik. I didn't get to talk to her much, but yeah, she's a really sweet girl.
I didn't get to see her.
What? She was sitting like right next to us, dude. She was right next to Dualcore. Anyway. Exactly. How could you miss the honey?
I must have been freaking hammered on that Everclear by then. I don't know. Anyway, this week's trivia question. Are you guys ready? It's gonna be a tough one. Finally, thanks D. Polaris, Trident, and Stiletto.
Ooh.
3 words, 3 objects, 3 people, I don't know. Which of these 3 man-made objects do not belong, and why?
Man-made.
Yeah, like hammer, nails.
Yeah.
They're man-made. Why don't they belong? Answer the question on the Hak5 or Revision 3 forums correctly, and we'll be sending you out a nice Hak5 gift goodie thingy. We don't know what it is yet.
We're not going to tell you.
But, that's how we roll. So, yeah.
Actually, you know what? We're just going to do the Hak5 forum. Yeah.
You know what?
Bring it on.
It's
getting even more challenging for you guys.
If somebody answers it in the Revision 3 forum, I will pay for your prize. How about them apples? Yeah.
We give them all out, man. It's cool.
Whatever. So revision3.com/forums or forums.hak5.org to go and answer the trivia question. Right now, we are going to check out that interview with Ashley Schwartau with Darren, and we'll see you guys in a little bit.
So tonight we are joined via Skype, a very special guest. It's Ashley Schwartau from the documentary Hackers Are People Too. Ashley, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Oh, not bad. So tell me a little bit about this documentary, Hackers Are People Too.
Yes, Hackers Are People Too, and this documentary is a little project that I started on about 1.5 years ago, and basically it's a portrait of the hacking community in their own words, and it's aimed at average America to give Americans a chance to see hackers for what they are and who they think they are, and to kind of dispel the negative stereotypes that have been portrayed for years in the media.
Okay, so I mean, is this your first documentary?
It's my first film project.
Very cool. So what inspired you to
yes.
make this?
Well, for one thing, I was going to school for digital media in Orlando at the University of Central Florida, and I wasn't really getting anything out of the program that I thought I would, and I was just itching to work on something so I could learn how to edit. And I've been going to HackerCon since I was 16, and it's just this group of people that I've really fallen in love with. And I was talking to somebody, and they made some comment that they're like, "Oh, hackers," you know, and I was like, "No, hackers are cool people." And it was just, I started noticing that people didn't think about hackers the way I thought about hackers. I guess I kind of just took my view of them for granted, and I was like, wonder if there's been a documentary made about them. And then I started looking into it, and you know, the last documentary was made back in the 90s, and things have, you know, changed a little bit, and nobody's going to go watch like an old VHS movie. And so I was like, oh, well, I could do this. And then I proposed the idea to some of my hacker friends at ShmooCon, and they're like, yeah, right on, go do it. So I had to figure out how, and I did.
Nice. So how did you fall in with this this hacker crowd?
Well, my dad, Lynn Schwartau, is the CEO of the security awareness company, and he's been in the security industry for like 20 years. And he's been going to DEF CON since the first one, and he kind of just dragged me along with him one year, and I had no idea what I was getting myself into. And at first I just kind of saw them as like partiers and crazy, like nerdy types, and then I really started to understand that they were just really smart and intelligent, and like I could have these really awesome conversations with them, and I would always learn something. And then I'd come home from the cons and go back to my regular life, so to speak. And it was like, oh, I kind of miss those guys.
Yeah,
They're so much fun.
The after-con hangover, if you will. It's more than just a physical
right?
thing. It's like a mental hangover. Yeah. Okay.
And I really miss them. So
what kind of obstacles did you encounter, like going off like, oh, I'm going to interview a whole bunch of hackers? That doesn't sound like an easy thing to do.
Well, I think one thing that worked for me is that I'm a girl, and hackers tend to speak to girls or want to speak to girls more so than if I was a guy. But I mean, I encountered a lot of obstacles that any independent filmmaker would encounter along the way, you know, money issues and equipment issues, and having never done anything like this before, I kind of was just fumbling my way through it. But then as far as like the actual hackers at the conferences, we had no real plan of action. I dragged a friend with me to help me do the interviews, and we just started asking random people, because I didn't want it to be like famous hackers or just nobody hackers. I wanted a broad range of the community to show the diversity. And a lot of people were very like, you want me to talk about hacking on camera? I don't think so.
Yeah.
And then there was a lot of people who knew me and trusted me and knew what I wanted to do, and so who were very willing. And there were a lot of no's. For every person we asked, there were 4 people who said no. And then there were a lot of people who they would say no initially, and then they would sit back and watch me do some of the interviews and see the kind of questions I was asking, and then they'd be like, okay, yeah, I'll do that. Let me sign your form.
That's an interesting approach.
So
where did you
I just tried to be
this?
friendly. I filmed it at DEF CON and TourCon in 2007. And so just basically 5 days of filming of all the interviews. I ended up with like 60 interviews.
So this premiered at DEF CON 16, and it was very well received by the hacker circle. So what's next for this film, and what's next for you as a filmmaker?
Well, right now, and actually for the last few months, I've been trying to get it into film festivals, which is a whole nother world and crazy process. Right now it's been accepted into one, which was a few weeks ago, the Flint Film Festival in Michigan. And I won't hear back about the other like 13 that I entered until January or so. But keep your fingers crossed so we can get into some. And we also sell copies on Amazon and FilmBaby and hackersarepeople2.com. And we're just trying to get the word out.
Yeah, you're definitely bridging 2 universes here, the whole hacker universe and then going the traditional documentary film route. So that's very interesting. So we'll be checking and see how this progresses. Where can people find more information about the documentary?
If you go to hackersarepeople2.com, we update fairly regularly like news and interesting things about what the movie's doing. And also we have this really awesome holiday special going on. Normally the film is $13.37 plus shipping and handling, but we are offering free shipping all through December, and if you order 5 or more copies, you get 50% off your order. Rock
on. And we're also going to be giving away a whole bunch of them free for you guys as trivia winners, so thank you so much for helping us out with that. And
anytime.
Oh yeah, totally. Well, it was great talking to you, Ashley. And I look forward to seeing how this progresses. I think we're going to take a quick break, but as we do, we're going to watch a little clip here of Hackers Are People Too. Thank you.
Thank you.
People complain that it's not like it used to be. It's not all in the underground. It's not all secret. And well, the people in the underground are still in the underground. They're there. If you want to work that hard and you really want to earn that kind of credential, then you want to be called that, then you can still do that. But what's going on in public, what's going on here and now, is something that wasn't even possible or realistic in the old days.
It's changed a lot over the years. This community got going probably back in the 70s, even long before the internet was a popular term, and grew through the 80s as more people became connected through dial-up BBSs, and then as the internet came of age in the 90s, it really began to explode. For the longest time, it was academic, people who understood computer science and liked to learn more about the way computers work.
And over time, though, as more and more information became available and the net grew, and networking, internet access became basically free, computers became free, operating systems became free, long-distance telco charges became basically free. A lot of the original motivations went away. And as that happened, that changed the group dynamic.
The culture was good, it was strong, it was good, and it's just different now.
So now there's multi-tiers. There's a group of people who've been doing it for many, many years, and they're still interested in learning and discovering and just testing out the quality of systems. And then there's a lot of real idiots who just they come to something like this because they think they're going to be taught how to break into their bank, which they're not going to, especially if they come up to somebody and just go, teach me how to hack, because that's the last thing you want to do.
I think now, a hacker is somebody that is talented with technology and passionate about it. Not just talented because they went to school and learned something, but talented because they, when they go to bed at night, they think about technology, or when they wake up in the morning, they think about technology, or technology makes them happy.
And everything I do, eat, breathe. My wife swears I talk in numbers when I'm sleeping.
Do I feel that's a lifestyle? Absolutely.
Sure, it's a lifestyle. We live that, we breathe it. We'll die going that way. We'll be 80 trying to tell these youngins, you don't even know what a 2600 hertz is.
I don't actually know if it's something that becomes a lifestyle for anyone. I think you either have that mentality in you, the idea of I want to see what's happening behind the curtain, and if you're not born with it, I can't imagine where you'd get it.
It starts off with curiosity, wanting to know, can I do this? Could I do this differently? Could I do this better, more efficiently?
But I also like spreading knowledge. I like looking at somebody's face and seeing the lights go on in their eyes, and they go, "Ooh, that's how it works." It's like, yeah, it's not black art, it's not magic. It's just turn this knob and hit that button. They go, "Oh, cool." And now they have a skill. It's sort of like teaching someone to fish instead of, giving them a cheeseburger. And I like teaching people how to fish. That's really cool.
All right, Shannon, so we've been getting a lot of questions recently about how to kind of clean up our media collections. I know myself, I've got like 40 gigs of MP3s. I want to hear how many gigs you guys got. These collections are getting massive.
Yeah, they really are.
A lot of times when you get them from the Russian sites or Amazon on DRM,
all those legal
they're
sites.
totally tagged. Sometimes you've got MP3s from your own collection that you just rip from CDs that may not be
They may not have the same tag.
Right, that can be
They could
really
be completely
annoying.
screwed up.
When you're trying to put together a good road trip mix or just flight mix because you're flying to Missouri here next week, you want to know that your stuff is going to be accessible on your MP3 player of choice.
It helps to know exactly what you're listening to, so not all of your MP3s are called Untitled, or not all of your tags are listed under
if I scroll through
name.
on my iPod to Untitled, it's just a vast list of stuff I do not listen to, actually.
Yeah, you're going to see my list soon.
Right.
You can see how much I use.
Okay, well, let's take a look. So what are these applications that are going to help us and save us?
I found two apps. The first one's TuneUp Media, and the second one is Tag Scanner. The first one I'm going to talk about is TuneUp Media because I know it the best.
Okay.
I use iTunes a whole lot, probably too much, and TuneUp Media is basically for iTunes. It has 4 different sections on it: clean, cover art, now playing, and concerts. I'll go through the last 3 first.
Okay.
Because they're the smallest sections, they're easier to get through.
Concerts, so what is that going to do?
Concerts basically shows you, depending on what kind of artist you listen to, it'll show you what kind of concerts are going around in your area.
So is Depeche Mode coming up soon? How about Duran Duran?
No, there's a Beethoven Festival concert.
Okay. Yeah.
So you can see it, listen to Beethoven.
All right, anyway.
Which is kind of funny.
So what else?
Also, it shows now playing, so you can check out videos on YouTube. Like I have 311 in my list, so it shows me 311 videos. Cover art gives you a choice. Cover art is pretty cool. I use this one quite a bit. In the free mode, though, of TuneUp Media, you can either go with the free mode or the one that you have to buy, but obviously I use free.
I totally hear you, because I mean, not only that, but like when it comes to cover art, I mean, if you've got like a Sugar Cubes album, there's multiple covers for different albums.
There are. So when you come up here, for instance, I have a perfect circle thrown up here. You can choose between your favorite cover arts by a perfect circle. So my favorite is this one, so I'll just save that.
And that goes ahead and saves it like right into the files?
Yeah, it does. It saves that into the ID3 tag.
Cool.
And then the last section is clean. Clean is the one that you'll use the most with TuneUp Media. It's very, very simple to use. If you have any untitled artists, untitled names of songs of any of those MP3s that you've thrown into your iTunes, you can just drag it over here, drag and drop, and it starts processing your song immediately. So I threw up Lauryn Hill, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, and I have no clue what this song is called, so I just called it Untitled. So we'll see what comes up in a couple of seconds.
Oh, and there we go. We've got it right there.
So it threw it up right here, and I can even hit it down here and look around and find out what song it is. And
check out the rest of the album.
According to this, it says in this album, it's number 16. It's called Tell Him. So
you need the other 15 tracks to complete your album experience.
Yeah, if I wanted the other 15 tracks, or I could just keep the one that I bought, completely legal.
Totally.
So I'm going to save that, and it's going to immediately change my iTunes tag over to Tell Him. See, there you go. Tell Him. It's great. Yeah,
a lot easier than going and hitting up the CDDB every time.
But the thing is, how do you know that that song TuneUp Media told you to download is the same song that you have in your iTunes?
Whoa, double whammy.
Yeah,
so what do we do now?
You never know, yeah.
All right.
So for the most part, they always get it right. I mean, I've never had any problems with them. So what I do before I decide to change the name on a song, like I know this is NoFX, Dinosaurs Will Die, so I'll hit play, and then I'll come over here and drag and drop it.
Yeah.
And I'll make sure that it comes up with the same exact name and title.
That's just a little bit too anal for me, but
well,
I mean, whatever.
Yeah, I'm a little anal. I'm a little bit too organizational. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's just the way I am.
But it'll actually play you a sample of what it thinks it is, so you can match the two up.
Yes, it will. So you can browse down here, and Dinosaurs Will Die is the one that's pulled up. So there you go. I was right.
Nice. So what about the alternative?
Yeah, so if you don't use iTunes, and I know a lot of people don't use it, you can also use Tag Scanner. And Tag Scanner isn't exactly the same thing, but it lets you change around your ID3 tags, and it lets you organize your actual MP3s that are in your My Documents folder or whatever, your MP3 folder, whatever it is that you have on your computer. So I pulled up a whole bunch of these songs from one of my favorite animes called Sailor Moon. And
it's good.
Yeah, it's awesome. As you can see here, the artist, yeah, there's no artist.
Well, because it's Sailor Moon, I mean, it's a theme song.
Yeah, it sucks.
Stuff, right?
But I have all the titles right here. And over here, under Music Renamer, I can go over here and I can add the title of each song.
So we could actually, like, if we had the artist in the title and everything, we could rename and categorize our actual files and our folder structure.
Yes.
And then this has, and can we do the same thing with the ID3? So rather than the file names, can we do the same thing with the ID3 tags? Or,
you can.
You know, whether it's version 1, version 2,
The next tab is called Tag Editor. You go over to this one, and it shows you the ID3 tag. It shows you exactly what you can put into your data for your ID3 tag for each and every MP3 that you have listed on Tag Scanner. So over here you can see you can add your own picture. If you don't know what the album picture is, just add your own. You can add lyrics into
the
ID3.
go over to Amazon, find the picture, and import it right into the file. I mean, a little bit of legwork there, but we can go ahead and do that.
You can do it. If you really, really want to sort that much, then that, you know.
So we are interested in how crazy you guys get with your MP3 collections, what kind of utilities you use to manage, to organize, Because
Yeah,
these are just two that
definitely.
you can use for Windows, whether you're on
There's
iTunes
a lot
or not.
more though.
I'm sure
I've
there
checked
are.
out a whole bunch of different other ones. One thing I don't like about TuneUp Media is that once you download it, you don't have the choice to cut it off to disable it whenever you open up iTunes.
Oh, that's a pain.
So it is a pain in the ass, but it's a good
Install
program.
it, clean up your collection,
I
get
love
rid of
the
it. I don't know.
cleanup thing. It's so
Yeah.
nice.
So hit us up. We want to hear what you guys use on Mac, on Linux, on all that other we ran out of words, POS, whatever. Hit us up. We have some questions that we need to get to because you guys have some interesting ideas and thoughts and questions, and we encourage that at feedback@hak5.org. But first, I want to tell you guys about Squarespace and how they are hooking us up with our LAN party page.
Hell yeah.
So squarespace.com is the place, and if you go over to hak5lan.squarespace.com, you can find our new Hak5 LAN portal. This is a place where you guys can go to basically vote on what games you think we should play next. It is where you can give us your feedback on how the game went. We got leaderboards, so that's going to be a lot of fun. So when you're in the Hak5 LAN parties, start taking some screenshots, send us to them. Actually, if you go there right now, you'll see we have a video of me kind of getting
owned
by
really bad.
Zygote
Dominated.
in Unreal Tournament. So much for that reign of glory. Anyway.
I was doing pretty bad myself.
Yeah.
a
Paul
little bit.
was owning it up. Did you notice that?
Dude, yeah.
Yeah. At least he was doing way better than me, so I'm thinking a little Paul versus Darren one. Anyway, so if you want to like weigh in on what you guys think we should be playing next, head over to HL2. I'm sorry, HL2 to hak5lan.squarespace.com, and we want to thank Squarespace because it is a beautiful publishing system for anything. If you need a blog, a portfolio, all the way up to like a big corporate site, you can totally use their tools. They're very easy. If you want to get granular, you can get granular. If you want to use a WYSIWYG, you can use a WYSIWYG. I was just playing with it today, hooking up the Hak5 LAN site. They did an amazing job. Dan over there put some awesome effort into making the Hak5 LAN site look beautiful.
It looks good.
And you can use the same tools to do the same kind of stuff. It just went released July 25th. And it's really unique the way that they're doing this because you don't need a lot of programming experience. It's like having Dreamweaver in your browser, but not confusing because like everything's kind of intuitive. Like I didn't read any documentation on this whatsoever. I think I watched like the video on their homepage, which you guys should check out. So, it's powerful enough to host big media sites. Like Kevin Rose is being hosted off it. Sarah Lane's hosted off it. It's good stuff. So I highly encourage you to head over there and check it out because Squarespace rules. And now our Hak5 LAN party page is over there.
I love it,
give
too.
that a shot. Yeah.
It's very Left 4 Dead-ish.
Yeah, there we go. So we have some questions.
Yes, we do. We have one question for this week. It's by Skybar Baron. He writes that, I have a computer from my school, and I was wondering if there's a way to wipe everything but like Microsoft Office and the OS, the operating system. So how can I do that?
Well, normally if you wanted to totally, like wipe the hard drive on a computer, I'd say the easiest way to do it is with a little tool called Daniel's Boot Nuke, or otherwise known as dban.org, the place to get either your DoD level or even your RCMP level hard drive wiping on. It's kind of interesting that the Royal Canadian Mounted Police has a better wiping method than the DoD, but really? Whatever, it's just our government.
I didn't know that.
Hooray for the Pentagon, because Mimics works, just stuff. So, but you don't want to fry the entire hard drive. You just want to make sure that what you're deleting is actually gone. And for that, I highly recommend a program called sdelete. It's a command line program. It's called sdelete.exe. It's by Mark Rusanovich over at SysInternals, now working for Microsoft, kicking it hardcore. It's a program that you can use to make sure that that file is not seeing the light of day anytime soon. So, if you want to donate your PC to some schools, but you want to make sure that those completely legit MP3s that you got off that .ru site are way off there, they will be. So I hope that answers your question. If you have more questions, where can they hit us up?
At feedback@hak5.org.
Where we are getting a storm of questions and feedback and getting buried in email. It's fun.
No, only
Darren can
is,
say something about that.
because
that's why
Darren is not very efficient at reading and responding to emails. However, the rest of us,
he has been very efficient
lately.
lately.
We can actually respond and multitask.
No. I've not been efficient. I'm getting buried
What?
like every week.
Okay, I came home from
ketchup
work today and you told me all you have been doing all day is checking emails. You lied to me.
Yeah. I replied to 100 and then I got through another 50 and then I still got 25. It's just so anyway. Then Darren changed the PHP code on the Hak5 website so that when you submit a question or whatever comment, it goes to all of us instead of just me. And now I'm sure that the rest of the guys will deal with that because, baby, it's delegation, and my inbox is hopefully a little lighter now. So I think that is our show.
Got a couple things we need to let them know about.
Yes.
Matt, what's going on?
Remember, CES, January 8th through the 11th. Need you guys to sign up and subscribe to the show via iTunes or your favorite RSS downloader of choice. Remember, you can hit up the forums at forums.hak5.org or revision3.com/forums. We do check both. And as always, we are broadcasting at hakhouse.com. That's HAKHOUSE.com. We are basically broadcasting our lives live on the internet, and we have a bunch of great people who are currently watching us live and all the time, not just during a taping. But want to let you guys know that every week you can check out hakhouse.com and have a chance to win a signed one of these.
Anyway, don't make a big deal.
No,
it's just a little fun thing we do.
Well, let's.
Yeah, all right.
This is kind of random.
It's just a little random thing. It's a little fun thing that we're doing for Zester and for the rest of the awesome people that are dipping into the ginormous Christmas bonuses.
Exactly.
Whatever. All right. Going HT, baby.
Eventually.
Yes, and note again quickly on the USB missile launcher. Check it out on the forums in probably about a week because we are saying what up to you guys, your finals. Good luck. Have an awesome Christmas break, and hopefully the next semester will own a lot more than this last one did. So we will have the source code for that stuff on there. And if you want to play with the USB missile launcher, we don't have it turned on during the show because it's a little like.
It's very loud.
Yeah.
It really is.
So anyway, hakhouse.com/missile and get your owning the cat on with the little laser. It's a lot of fun. No.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Come on. It's been like a dozen episodes.
You took this from me a long time ago. I want it back.
All right, fine.
I'm taking it back.
I have absolutely no say in this matter.
You know as well as I do that I'm going to be stuck over there for like another 2
Put my bongo down.
Keeping this. All right. Anyway, we will remind you guys to
trust your technologist. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Hak5. This is your weekly dose of
put 1 on the scoreboard. Snubs 1. That means stop being a noob. Stop making your face is getting red.
I know.
You look weird.
Good. Add some color to that shit.
Yeah, seriously, we're white balancing on the boobies.
Do you want to white balance on the boobies?
Whoa. What? No, this was 1993 or something.